Cue dope intro.
Give you my heart.
Okay, so let's talk about this thing that we call the dark web. I was making a video recently, and there's going to be a QR code on your screen right now if you wish to watch the video I made about darknet markets. And as I was in the middle of making that video, it occurred to me that I had started making a video talking about the dark web, but had not finished it. And basically, the intention had been to do dark web and then do a follow-up video about darknet markets, but in the grand scheme of things, I ended up uploading the darknet market video first, so I went a little out of order. But anyway, so let's talk about it. So what is the dark web? Well, the term dark web is, first of all, not to be overly technical, but not a real term. The term that people are looking for when they say dark web is overlay networks, sometimes called hidden networks. And what these are networks that exist outside of the World Wide Web, which is, of course, the largest network utilizing the infrastructure of the internet. Now, when I say internet, at least in this context, what I'm referring to is the physical infrastructure that makes the virtual connectivity possible, the virtual space, so to speak. And that would be anything from the Wi-Fi router that it's probably in your house or at least down the street at Starbucks to the transoceanic cables that run underneath the world's oceans, or most of the oceans. They haven't yet laid a cable across the Arctic Ocean for obvious reasons, I guess. I wouldn't volunteer for that trip, at least if they ever did lay one up there. But at any rate, every other ocean in the world, the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Mediterranean Sea, the Indian Ocean, and so forth, they all have cables running underneath them, fiber optic cables. I remember checking a little while back, and at that time at least, which was about a year ago, there were about 300 cables in total, crisscrossing most of the oceans of the world. So things like that and other bits of physical infrastructure, routers that your internet service provider uses to route the traffic through these cables into their destination servers and so forth. All of these things are what are taken together basically the internet in the physical sense. Well, there are a number of networks that utilize this physical infrastructure, and of course the largest network is going to be the World Wide Web. Nowadays you don't have to actually type in www, but your browser just kind of adds that in there for you, and that just simply stands for World Wide Web. Though, as one comedian pointed out, World Wide Web has 3 syllables, www has 9, so it's not really short for anything. But jokes aside, the World Wide Web is by far the largest network, but it is not the only one. There are a number of networks that exist outside of that ecosystem that, as far as I know, universally use different types of encryption to keep communication secure and private, anonymous, and so forth. And these are referred to as hidden networks. The largest of these is going to be the Tor network. Tor is an acronym. It stands for the Onion Router. The second largest, as far as I am aware at least, is the Invisible Internet Project, or I2P. So when I say the largest hidden network, I'm referring to the number of users. There are other metrics we could use, but I'm just looking at the number of users because that is the simplest way to approach this. So Tor, the Onion Router, by far the largest number of users. One little thing with Tor, though, is that the majority of those users, last I checked, it was around 98%, are actually using the Tor network. They're using, of course, the Tor browser or perhaps a third-party app like Orbot to access the Tor network, but they're actually accessing regular websites on the World Wide Web as opposed to called onions that are on the Tor network. So as far as number of users, I'm not sure if I should count that 98% that are using it for on the World Wide Web. So maybe I2P is the larger of the two networks, because in I2P's case, you kind of can use the I2P network to access websites, regular websites, but it's very limited. So in general, you're going to be using I2P to access actual I2P sites except for Monero, the cryptocurrency. They have an implementation where their wallet can use the I2P network, the Invisible Internet Project network, to further add a layer of anonymity and privacy to the transactions that occur using Monero. Which, for more information about Monero, I am going to be making another video soon, so just watch out for that. I'm just going to be talking all about Monero and its inherent advantages, at least in terms of privacy and anonymity, over Bitcoin. It's a lot less convenient than Bitcoin, but in terms of overall security, anonymity, and so forth, it is light years ahead of Bitcoin, to be honest. Okay, so not to, cut off that video suddenly like that and kind of mid-sentence, but I needed to make it shorter. I actually started with over an hour's worth of footage. Yeah, so I snipped out that, roughly 6-minute bit there, and decided to use that as a sort of shorter version of this discussion on the dark web. Here's the synopsis kind of thing. I do have a longer video. It's about 26 minutes long, so quite a lot longer. I get into more detail, get into the technology behind the dark web, talking about that, dispel a few myths, and so on and so forth. If you do have the time, it is a good watch, if I do say so myself. And there's going to be a QR code on your screen in a second where you can go watch that other video. And going forward, I'm probably just going to have to make this a series. Like I said, started with over an hour's worth of footage. I think it was actually about an hour and a half in total that I started with, and trimmed it up and kind of sliced and diced it into, one video that's roughly 6 minutes long, another video that's about 26 minutes long. And that was doing honestly pretty good under the circumstances. But the truth is, I need to make this just like a series, probably a pretty long series. So, especially now that I'm getting into, so I work in cybersecurity, but I'm getting into darknet threat intelligence, and with that, as the name would imply, I've been spending a lot of time on different darknets, particularly Tor, but other darknets as well. I'm also going to probably get in more into the darknet market specifically. I uploaded the one video. I really enjoyed that one video, making that video for you guys. So I'm thinking I want to make some more, get more into some things, maybe actually browse a few markets, maybe, if I don't get banned on YouTube for doing that kind of thing. I'm not sure yet, but still kind of have to find that out. But anywho, so I will catch you guys in the next video, and thanks so much for watching.